Hello and welcome to our Windows 11 tutorial. My name is Mo Jones and I am really glad to be able to guide you through this tutorial of Windows 11. We'll explore the refresh interface. We'll take a look at what's new and we'll spend some time just finding our favorite tasks and commands. This is interactive, so be ready to pause the video and practice anything that we've covered. If you're enjoying these videos, please like and subscribe. If you're looking to earn certificates and watch videos without ads, sign up for Learn It Anytime, our dedicated online training subscription service. Check the link in the description for more information. If you have any questions you want answered by one of our instructors, please join our offsite community. The link is in the description as well. As always, if this course has exercise files, you'll find them in the video description below. Let's dive in. Welcome back. I just opened a brand new user account here on my Windows 11 machine, and I just signed in, and I have to say it looks very, very good, very, very appealing. And one of the things that you'll notice since Windows 7 up until now, Windows 11, we've seen Microsoft really paying attention to colors and providing more just vibrant options for us. And this is a really nice looking interface. So we are given this basic theme here, this default theme, which we will change a little later here. And notice we do have our icons here. I do have a few programs that I installed. And so we still have our icons available on our desktop. They'll show up here for us. Another thing to notice is that our start menu is normally over here, but it's not. And what Windows 11 has done is kind of centered everything for us over here. And we still have our notification area over here to the bottom right. We do not have a specific notification area icon, but what we'll see later is we kind of interact with these different icons here. They will open up that notification area for us. So here's our start menu. It's moved over here. We can actually move this back to the left if we want to. Here's our search bar. We can search for programs. And we have this option here where we can kind of open different virtual desktops so we can kind of work separately. And we have our widgets here. And notice that Microsoft Teams is built into Windows 11. We can still access our folders by clicking on the folder icon here. And Microsoft Edge is the default browser for Windows 11. And finally, we have our Microsoft Store here. Icon has changed a little bit. Looks pretty good. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about our desktop here. One of the things I like to do, I like to right click and just to see what my options are. And we still have the capability to just right click and get this really nice menu here where we can pretty much access a lot of the places in terms of customizing our look and feel. So I can go ahead and change the size of my icons if I want to. Right now my icons are small. So maybe I want to make them medium. And we see that they changed to medium for me here. I'll go ahead and right click again. And maybe I want to see large. And make note of the actual shortcut key. So if I want large desktop icons, I can press Control-Shift-2. That'll give me large. Control-Shift-3 will give me medium. Control-Shift-4 will give me small. We'll go back to large here. Wow, these are really, really big. Yep, I'll go ahead and put those back to medium. I like it like that. Let's see what else is in this menu. So just interacting with our icons here, we can notice my icons are auto-arranged. They are aligned to the grid. And I'm currently showing my desktop icons. So if I don't want to see my desktop icons, I can just unclick right here. And notice my icons are gone. If I want to put those back, I'll go ahead and right click again. And I'll just go ahead and show those icons. Now, I can turn off some of these features, such as auto arrange. Okay, so now what I can do is I can kind of move them around to different places if I want to. Okay. And so the auto arrange is very useful when you have a lot of desktop icons. And for me, I like to keep it turned on. So I'll just go ahead and auto arrange that. And it puts it back for me right there on the left. I'll go ahead and continue going through this menu. So the next option here is to sort by. So we can sort our icons here by name, by size, by item type, or even the date that was modified. I'll click on name. And it is somewhat sorted by name here. We try a different option. Be by size. Let's see, date modified. So it's really up to you. This is fully customizable. I'll go ahead and put the sort right back here by name. I like to keep it that way as well. Very good. And I'll right click again. We can refresh the desktop if you want to. I have not needed to refresh the desktop since really Windows 7, but the option is there for you. Another thing that we can do, we still have this new menu here where we can create a new folder. So I'll go ahead and create a new folder here. Just click on there. And here's my new folder. So now I can go ahead and just type a name. Maybe I'll put Windows 11 or just Win 11 there. And so it's easier to really create a new folder. Go ahead and right click again. And depending on the folders that you have, the programs that you have installed, you can go ahead and launch or create a new program right here. So if I wanted to create a new Microsoft Word document, I can do it right here from my desktop just by right clicking. And I'll go ahead and give this a name. And I'll call this Win 11 tutorial. So a very useful tool. And again, so we can manipulate the desktop icons, we can create folders, we can create programs right here from our desktop. So go ahead and just check out the taskbar. Go ahead and create a new folder. Go ahead and arrange your icons. Just right click on that menu and make some customizations so that you can have the look and feel that you are accustomed to, and come right back. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you had fun just kind of customizing your desktop icons, and maybe you created a folder and a file as well. Well, now what we want to do is just go ahead and take a look at our start menu. So once again, our start menu has moved from the far left over here, and now it's kind of at the beginning of our center console here. And one thing that Microsoft has done really since Windows 8 is to really provide a kind of hybrid type of operating system. And today, Microsoft is actually referring to Windows 11 as a operating system that was designed for a hybrid experience. So many of us are working from home, and especially if you have a Microsoft Surface computer, which is touchscreen, which kind of doubles as a tablet and a computer, this operating system is perfect for that. Okay? So if you have a really nice mobile setup, then this is perfect for you. And so what we'll notice as we kind of navigate the menus here, what we will see is kind of this transition to a mobile type of experience here. So I'll go ahead and click on my start menu. And we'll just kind of highlight a few things here. Notice at the top that we have our search bar. So we can actually search here. We also have our search bar down here. We can go ahead and use that. So if we want to remove this, we can actually remove that or unpin that from the taskbar a little later. But we do have the option here to search. And what I really like is I don't really use the start menu that much. I just basically just type what I want to look for. If I want to open up PowerPoint, I'll type PowerPoint. PowerPoint will show up for me and I'll be able to open that. So as of Windows 8, I don't really need to really drill down into the start menu to find what I'm looking for. So we have some pinned applications here as well. So a lot of these are by default. So we have Edge, Word, Excel, PowerPoint. We have our local basic mail client, which is pretty cool. We have our calendar and a few other things here. We have some apps that came preloaded, such as Spotify, these things here. So we can unpin these if we want to. Okay? But before we do that, what I would like to do is just take a look at this Getting Started guide here to kind of take a little transition to see what's new in Windows 11. Finally, if you want to see all of our apps, they are right here. Okay. So go ahead and click on the Start menu here. Just kind of take a look around and see what applications are available. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove some of these. I'll just go ahead and right click, and I'm going to unpin this from my Start menu just to kind of get things out of the way here. And again, a lot of these just kind of came with the operating system, some social media applications here, and I just want to kind of remove them. I think this looks pretty good. I'll go ahead and keep everything else here. Now we do have a small kind of navigation menu over here. It's very subtle, but this is a small scrollable menu. And so I just want to go ahead and kind of scroll through that so you can go down and see what else is there as well. You can go to the previous page. Very, very good. On the bottom, we also have some recommended applications. So a lot of these are just kind of things I've been working on recently. But what I want you to do now is click on the Start menu. Go ahead and just kind of remove some apps here that you don't want to use. And then go ahead and click on all the apps. And here we can scroll and we can see all the applications that are installed. And so if you want to, you can go ahead and pin something. Maybe I'll pin this music file here. Go ahead and pin that to the start. And what else do I want to pin here? Maybe I'll pin Microsoft Teams as well. I'll go back here and I should see them here if I go to the next page. There they are. Very good. So go ahead, click on your Start menu. Go ahead and remove some pinned applications. Click on all apps and go ahead and add some of your favorite programs by right-clicking and pinning them to your Start menu, and come right back. Welcome back. Okay, so let's talk about what's new. So once again, I'll go ahead and click on my Start menu here. And we did talk about some of the pinned files, all the applications. And right here, I want to take advantage of this. And let's just see what Windows 11 has in store for us. So I'll go ahead and click on Get Started here. And we kind of get this dialogue, right? This kind of wizard here that's taking us on the journey. And it wants me to sign in with my Microsoft account. Now, signing in will allow you to really take advantage of all the features. You can sync across different devices, which is very, very good. I'm not going to sign in right now. I'm going to go ahead and just go to the next menu here. Okay, and so we can go ahead and we can sync our files to OneDrive. Okay, so it does come with Windows 11 that enables us to do that. And so here are some apps, some recommended apps that Microsoft thinks that we'll like. It's from the Microsoft Store. And so if you're a big fan of these social media apps, here's a great place. You can just go ahead and click and then install them right from here. And one thing that has improved with Microsoft Store is that now there are a lot more public apps that you can take advantage of. You don't really need to sign in to install a lot of applications. And here is giving us a little tour of our Start menu here, of how we can engage it to kind of search for things. And as I said before, I just like to type in the search box and pull up the actual application. So we do have this option called Focus Assist, and we kind of open that by engaging with the notification area. And we'll kind of take a look at that a little later on. But if you want to go ahead and set this up right now, you can click on this blue button and that will set it up for you. And this really just helps you to manage your notifications. And you have a few options here. You can turn them off, priority only, or alarms only. So you have the capability to customize your notifications just as you would on your phone app. And Microsoft Edge has come a long way from the days of Internet Explorer. They've really made a lot of modifications, and they're really realizing that there are a lot of browsers out there that really have cutting edge technology. And we'll take a look at Microsoft Edge later, some of the features that it offers. And you may want to stick with Microsoft Edge as your default browser. And then we have this option here for widgets. So you can find our widgets here on the bottom. And so these widgets gives you different things from news to stocks to the weather. And it's a nice option if you want to be able to use those widgets. There are various widgets that you can use. Another really cool feature is you can link your Android phone from your PC. So you can do the things you do on your phone right from your PC. Use your favorite phone apps, respond to texts, make calls, view photos, and more. So this is a really, really nice feature that they have as well. We'll try to get into that a little bit later. And of course, as I mentioned before, Microsoft Teams is now built in to Windows 11. So you do have the option there to make calls, to send messages, and to send files as well. And that's it. It says we're all set. So we can either go back home or we can open some tips. I'll go back to the home here and I'll go ahead and close this out. So go ahead and just take that quick tour. And as you're going through the tour, you can actually enable a lot of those features that are there as well. So open that up, go through the tour, and come right back. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you were able to take that guided tour and maybe you were able to implement some of the features that you were being shown there. Let's go ahead and talk about our search bar here. But before we do that, just to kind of finish up with our start menu, I do want to point out a few things here. Here we can go ahead on our start menu, we can go ahead and turn off. We can put our computer to sleep, we can shut it down, or we can restart it. So if you're wondering, hey, where's my power button? This is where it is. We can also go ahead and sign out of our current session. We can lock our screen or we can log in with another user account here as well. Now our search bar is here at the top. And so when I click on the search, we get a more exhaustive list. We have some more options. So notice here, we can do a complete search. And as I said before, maybe I want to open up a application like PowerPoint. So if I just type PowerPoint, from here I can press enter, or I can just go ahead and click on PowerPoint, and that will open PowerPoint for me. So if I just go like that, it's opening PowerPoint for me. I'll go ahead and close that. So we can either search for apps, and it shows frequent apps here that you use, and it shows recent apps down here. And so this is more than just, a search feature. This is really kind of making things more accessible for you and allowing you to be more efficient. So I can search for individual documents. Don't have any documents right now. But as you can see, the coding changed here, the command. Now we have the documents. We can search the web. And we do have more options here. We have more filters. So we have music, photos, settings, and videos. And so very, very nice options as well. Over here, we do have another menu. Here you can go ahead and just kind of add your Microsoft account. We can go ahead and specify the search settings. All right here, just from the search. We can specify the indexing options. I'll click on search settings. And it opens up this privacy and security console for us. And we do have safe search here that's turned on. So we can specify what type of safe search we want. By default, it's set to moderate. But if you want to make it very strict, we can do that as well, or we can completely turn it off. And then we have some cloud content search here. So if you were logged in with your Microsoft account, you can take advantage of a cloud, of searching through your cloud service. And we can go ahead and allow Windows Search to provide results from the apps and services that we are signed into with our Microsoft account. We can show our search history on this device. We can go ahead and clear our device history. So what we're kind of seeing here is integration with, so this search is not just for your computers, for the web, and it's for your cloud-based data source as well. Very good. And from here, we can access other settings as well. So we can access the full settings right from here. Let me go back here. All right. And so that is our search bar, providing us with a lot of options to search. So go ahead and open up your search bar there and do some web searches. Search for an application and open it. And go ahead and try to search for an actual file or a folder. You can go ahead and adjust the settings for your search as well. Play around and come right back. Let's move on to our taskbar. So here's our taskbar here on the bottom. And what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and just kind of highlight some of the areas here. So we have kind of our center console here that has various applications that we can interact with and various commands such as the search bar. And over to our right, we do have our icons here as well, such as our Wi-Fi, our battery, we have our date, and we have our microphone settings here and any other hidden icons here that we're using. But what I want to do, I want to go ahead and right click on my taskbar so I can take a look at the settings so I can customize it a little further. So let's see what options are available. I'll right click on my taskbar. And now in Windows 10, we had a long menu that we would get when we right clicked on the taskbar. For example, we can turn things off right there in the menu by checking them or unchecking them. We could open up the task manager as well. But now we get the settings. So we'll click here. And it brings us to this personalization menu, and specifically for the taskbar. So from here, what we can do, we can go ahead and turn things on or off. So maybe you don't want the search bar here because it's already integrated into our start menu. So maybe I'll go ahead and remove that. So I basically just unpinned it from my taskbar here. And the task view that gives you the different desktops, I'll leave that there. The widgets, I'll leave that on as well. Teams chat, maybe I'll turn that off. Very good. So we can just go ahead and just remove things from our taskbar. Now we can add applications to our taskbar. So if I click on my start menu here and I go to all apps, maybe I want to add Microsoft Access to my taskbar. So what I'll do again, I'll right click. And again, I can either pin it to the start menu, but that's not what I want. I'm going to go to more. And here I can pin it to the taskbar. So if I do this correctly, it should show up down here on my taskbar. And there you go. So there's Microsoft Access. So it's very simple to add programs to your taskbar. Makes it a lot easier so you don't have to go through the menu and find it. So we also have options down here. And we have some taskbar corner icons. Okay. So what this allows us to do is show or hide icons that appear on the corner of our taskbar. So we can show the pen menu. So if I just kind of toggle these off or on, if you have a touch keyboard, we can always show the touch keyboard icon. So as you can see, it shows up down here. If we have a virtual touchpad, we can take advantage of that as well. So these are all options. I'll turn these off. I'm not using any of these right now. Other things that we can personalize is the taskbar corner overflow. So we can choose which icons may appear in the taskbar, or if all others will appear in the taskbar corner overflow menu. And so again, this is just a matter of preference, what you want to see. So I have some these are really kind of programs that start up when you start your computer. So for me, I have this kind of built-in for my computer. This came with my computer OEM. And we have a Windows security icon here. So I can just go ahead and turn these off or on. So maybe for Microsoft Teams. So now I just revealed Microsoft Teams. Now I just revealed OneDrive. So really what's happening here is you can either hide these icons, right, by turning them off. And if you need to access them, you have to click on this menu here so that you can interact with them. Or you can just, reveal them so that they will always show up down here. So it's really up to you. I like to keep them turned off because I don't like my taskbar being flooded with applications here. And then we have our taskbar behaviors. So right now, I was telling you earlier, we can move our taskbar to the left. So right now it is centered. So all of our friends here are in the center of our taskbar. But what if we wanted to go ahead and move them to the left? We can do so. So now, if you want, you can put your start menu right back to the left. So it's really up to you. Notice it does not give us the option to go to the right because then you'll be crashing into our notification area down here as well. Here's the option. You can automatically hide the taskbar. So it just kind of hides there. You kind of have to move your mouse so that it comes back. I'll leave mine turned on here. And we have some other options here. Okay, so you can show the taskbar in all of your displays. I am using 2 displays. And so I do want to see the taskbar on both of them as well. So these are options that are fully customizable for you. So go ahead and right click on your taskbar. I'm going to put these back in the middle. I like it there. I think it just looks a lot better. So go ahead, right click on your taskbar. Go ahead and adjust these settings. Maybe you want to remove some of these programs here. Maybe you want to add some icons. Maybe you want to kind of auto hide some of these icons that are over here. It's all up to you. You have the ability to customize them. So play around with those settings, pause the video, and come right back. Hopefully you had fun just customizing your taskbar settings there. Now what I want to do, I want to talk about our task view. And right next to I did remove my search bar here. But let's go ahead and talk about our task view. So if you're a multitasker, which many of us are, this was actually available in Windows 10 as well. And this basically allows you to open various desktops here. Okay. And so what I'll do, I'll go ahead and just mouse over it here. And when I mouse over it, it shows me my current desktop, which is default to desktop 1. I can go ahead and create a new desktop. So if I click on this plus sign here, that will bring me to a new view. And that's desktop 2. So what I can do, I can go ahead and right click. Maybe I want to change the name of this here. Why would you want to have more than one desktop that you're working on? Well, maybe you have one just for, doing research. Maybe you have another one for learning. So maybe I'll call this one research. And it just really allows you to kind of get things out of the way and keep things organized here. So I called it research. I can also right click on it and I can move it to the left if I want to. I can close it, remove it. But one cool thing that I can do is I can go ahead and choose the background, right? So maybe I'm doing research and I want to have another type of background here. So I can click on choose background. And this brings me back to that personalization menu, but now it's specifically for the background. And even more specifically for the background for my research desktop here. So it gives me the current view of what's happening here. So now I have a few options. I'll just scroll down a little bit here. So I can use a picture if I want to, or I can use a solid color, or I can use a slideshow. So again, it's fully customizable however you want it. We do have some default pictures that comes with Windows 11. So maybe I can try this one if I want to. Get a nice preview. So this is what it would look like. Looks pretty nice. Very, very nice. But maybe I want a solid color. So I'll choose a solid color here. And from here, I can choose different colors that I want to use. Maybe this blue. And so I can do that if I want to. Now, if I want custom colors, I can also add some custom colors by clicking on View Colors. And I have my color palette here. If I want to click more, I can enter the RGB values of those colors if I want to. And I do have the HSV values here that I want as well. So if you're really into colors, there's a lot of options online that provides you a lot of free websites that gives you the color codes, the RGB values for various colors. So maybe you're looking for a specific one. I'm not going to play around with this. Just want to show you that this option is there. I'll go ahead and cancel this. And I think what I'll do is I'll stick to this color here. But what if I'm working at night, right? And I want to use a contrast theme, right? For low vision, light sensitivity. So Microsoft has done a lot just in terms of making these options accessible to us. And you'll notice a lot of these dark or contrasting themes are becoming more and more available, especially on mobile devices where we tend to spend a lot of time. So we have various themes here. We have this desert, we have dusk, we have night sky. And I can scroll down and I can go ahead and choose one of these themes. I'm not going to do that now. It's going to really create an interesting visual as I'm recording here. But you do have these options here. You can check them out and see how you like them. I can go ahead and go back to my themes here. So here, the different themes that I can use. And remember, a theme is just a combination of colors and effects that applies to your experience here. Okay. So I'm just going to leave it here as this blue. So I'll go back. And let's see, I'll go back to my, okay, so here's my research. Now I can go back to my desktop one as well. If I want to create a new desktop, I can do that. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. And let's see if I can create another one here. And I'll choose a background for this one. And I want a picture. And I'll give it this picture here. And I'm good to go. So now I have a few desktops and I can navigate through each one. Here's desktop 1, here's research, and here's desktop 3. Okay. And I can go ahead and launch individual applications inside of each of those desktops. So go ahead, click on your task view here, create a few desktops, change the layout of each by using a different picture for your background. Right? Take a look at some of the other contrasting views that we have available and come right back. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you had some fun creating different task views there or different desktops and taking advantage of the customizable options. Well, let's go ahead and talk about our notification area here, or our quick settings area. They're interchangeable here. We've poked around over here a few times, but now let's go ahead and dive in. So the first thing we notice is we have our hidden icons here. And remember, we can right click on the taskbar and kind of specify if we want these to be revealed or to be hidden. I want them to be hidden. If I want to go ahead and close these, I can right click right here and I can actually quit them just like that. Or I can exit. Okay. Now, we do have our similar icons here. So we can see our microphone settings here. If I click on my microphone, I can get some of the settings that relates to my microphone here. I can specify which apps can use my mic as well. And of course, we have our Wi-Fi here. If we click on Wi-Fi, we can specify what connections we want. We can manage it right here. And notice I clicked on Wi-Fi, but I'm getting my full notification menu here. If I click on my speakers, I also get that big menu. And if I click on my battery status, I still get that same menu. So notice we don't have a specific notifications icon as we did in Windows 10, but if we click on one of these icons here, we'll bring up that menu. And we have our date here. So if I click on my date, here I can go ahead and kind of look through my calendar here if I want to. And we do get a separate menu at the top here. So now I can go ahead and I can turn on my focus assist settings, which we'll take a look at in a few. I can adjust my date and time settings, and I can go ahead and change my time zone as well. So this would be a place for you to come to go ahead and make any adjustments to your clock and your date and your time settings. Go ahead and minimize that. So let's open up our notifications pane here. So I'll click here. So one thing I realized with the speakers, so if you have more than one speakers available, usually you would have a toggle where you can kind of go up and down, but now you have to click to the right to kind of reveal your different speakers here. And from here, you can choose your speaker, and you can also click on more volume settings to get more settings for your speakers. I'll go back here. So at this point, what I want to do, I want to just kind of take a look at the options that are here. So here's my Wi-Fi, wireless fidelity. I can go ahead and change my Wi-Fi or manage my Wi-Fi. Here I can toggle my Bluetooth off or on. I can go ahead and enable airplane mode. And again, this is just that keeping the mobile friendly, or the mobile conscious user in mind. This is a very mobile looking menu here. And if you have a Windows phone, which I had for a few years, I used to really like this menu. I would swipe and I would get this menu here. But not everything is showing up. So we have our Wi-Fi, we have our Bluetooth, we have airplane mode, we have our focus assist, we have accessibility options, we have our battery saver, and here we have our brightness level. But I know that some things are missing because I'm used to this menu. So I'll go ahead and click on Edit Quick Settings here. And I can go ahead and remove some things from here if I want to. Maybe my battery saver, I'll unpin that. Don't really want that there. But I want to add some things here. So if I click on Add, so here we go. Here's my night light. Okay. I like to use the night light here, especially when it gets dark at night and I'm working late. I like turning on the night light. So it will, basically block a lot of the blue light emissions that's being transmitted from my monitor. So I can go ahead and add that. Let's see what else I want to add. So there is the battery saver that allows your computer to go into a basic mode based on the amount of battery life that's remaining. We can cast, which I've done often, cast it to your TV. If you have a smart TV, like a Roku device or something of that nature, you can cast your entire desktop or a browser. You can introduce the keyboard layout here if you want to. I'm going to go ahead and enable the mobile hotspot. So I want that to show up. And we have other options here for nearby sharing or projecting. So these options are available here for you. I think I'm done. So I just removed a few and I added a few here. I'll click on done. So here's my nightlight. Go ahead and turn that on. Just kind of removes some of that blue light there. I'll turn it back off. Okay. Here's my mobile hotspot. So here's focus assist. From this menu, you can toggle. So you can say priority only, alarms only, or we can turn it off. And what's really cool is from here, you can access all of the settings. So if I click here, open up that menu for me, and I have all of my system settings. So from my display to my sound, notifications, let's talk about focus assist here. I'll go ahead and open up this menu. And basically this is designed to help you stay focused. Okay. So right now, Focus Assist is turned off. So right now, I will receive all notifications from my apps and my contacts. They will pop up for me. If I want to go ahead and enable priority only, I can see only selected notifications from the priority list. Or I can just say alarms only, which just hides all notifications except for alarms. And we have the option here to show a summary of what you've missed when Focus Assist was on as well. We have some rules down here that we can establish. So we can say from 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. priority only. Okay. And if you're duplicating your display, so it's fully customizable here. When you're playing a game, you can go ahead and enable that as well. And believe it or not, Windows 11 does have a gaming mode, and it's on by default. And what will happen is when you enter a game, it's going to remove processes that are running in the background so that you can have more fun and get things done. So go ahead, spend some time, open up, just click on one of your icons here and go ahead and just modify your notification area. The one last thing before you pause is we still have the option here to show the desktop. So if I were to open an application, maybe I'll just open up a folder here like that. And if I just move my mouse to the bottom right edge, I can trigger the show desktop. And if I click on it, it will minimize everything for me and just show my desktop there. Okay, if I click it again, it's going to reveal everything that I had open. So that option is still there for us. Well, it's not as obvious, but it is there. So go ahead, play around with your notification settings and come right back. Welcome back. Okay, so now that we've talked about our start menu, our task view, we've looked at our taskbar settings, and we've taken a look at our notifications area. Let's go back to our desktop and take advantage of our right-click menu here. Because one of the things that we like to do is we like to interact with our display settings, especially if you have more than one monitor. You need to come in here and kind of set things up here. So I click on display settings here. And notice I am using 2 monitors. Okay. And so we do have the option here of first kind of identifying where our monitors are. So it places a number on our monitor screen. So I know that currently I'm on monitor number 2. And so here is where we can go ahead and make our customizations. So we can go ahead and we can either duplicate the displays, we can extend them, we can only show only on one or show only on monitor 2. So we do have these options here, but it's first you want to be able to identify where your monitor is. So my monitor 2 is to my left and my other monitor is to my right here. And so we can go ahead and we can toggle which one will be the main display. So right now, my monitor 2 is my main display. So notice how this, when I click on monitor 2, it's grayed out. I cannot make it the main display because it's already the main display. But if I click on monitor 1, I can choose to make this the main display. Okay. And if I want to, I can move them around. So I can kind of swap them around like that. But now I just have to be mindful which way my mouse is moving. Make sure I can either go to the left or to the right when I'm navigating. Okay. So we can apply it or we can cancel if you want to. I'll just scroll down here. And we want Windows to remember the Windows location based on the monitor connection. So your Windows 11 will recognize the type of monitor that you're connected to. Okay. And we can minimize windows when a monitor is disconnected. So that option is there for you. You can either turn them on or not. If you connected another display and it's not showing up, you can go ahead and click on detect and it will try to detect it for you and connect to it. And we have other options here. If you have some smart technology in your home, you can connect to a wireless display. Right. And then from here, we can go ahead, adjust the brightness. We can turn on the night light. right? So we can use warmer colors to help block that blue light, which is one of my favorite features here as well. Got some HD recording options here. And we have some scale and some layout. So depending on the size, well, first, depending on your resolution, right now I'm currently using 1920 by 1080, which is HD. So depending on, how your resolution and the size of your monitor, Windows 11 will scale the size of your text, your apps, and other items for you, just so that it's easier for you to see them. So it kind of runs a test for you and says, hey, you know what? We need to be able to, let's scale this to 150%. Otherwise, it'll be very difficult to kind of read the text. So it's kind of doing that in the background for you. We can change the resolution if we want to. Now, notice I do have two monitors. So depending on the monitor that you have selected, so if I click on monitor 1 and I can choose the display size, I can go up to 1920 by 1080. And if I choose monitor 2, let's see. Okay. So I can go up to there as well. Very good. Okay, and so that's the scaling. And you have the display orientation. Most people leave this as landscape, but if you want to make it portrait, some people turn their monitors long side up and down in the horizontal plane. And that's you can specify that here as well. We do have some advanced display options that you can take advantage of here. And notice you have to kind of select your monitor here. So I have my internal laptop display and I have my display too. So you have to kind of specify which one you are looking at. Here you can establish the refresh rate here. Okay, mine just caps out at 60. A lot of monitors will cap out at 60 as well, and depending on your display driver as well. So let's go to my internal display and I only have 60 here. So very good. So here's where you'll just adjust your display options. Very useful if you're using multiple monitors. You can come in here and literally just move things around to the way that you like them. So go ahead and take a look at your display settings. Go ahead and configure your monitors and come right back. Welcome back. Well, we did spend a little time personalizing our different task views here, but we can also access that menu by right-clicking on our desktop and clicking on Personalize. And we can make this a little bigger if we want to. But for personalization, you notice that you will have your entire menu over here on the left. So we can access any of these menu items, which we'll take a look at in a little bit here. But here we can go ahead and select the theme that we want to apply. Or we can scroll down on this list and we can specify the background. We can specify the different colors, effects, or color theme. We can manage our themes right from here. We can personalize what shows up on our lock screen for our touch keyboard. And so there's a lot in here that we can personalize. We did already personalize a few of these items, such as the taskbar and the start menu. But let's go up and let's talk about themes here. So we are currently on a theme. We can change the themes. We can get a nice preview just by clicking on each different theme. We just give it a little time there. And so it's really up to you. You can select the theme that you want. So notice things do look a little differently when you open menus as well. You have different accent colors. So we can set up a slideshow. So right now it is a slideshow. So my screen will change. Maybe I don't want that. Maybe I just want a solid color. And I'll choose maybe a nice neutral color here. Maybe something like this. Yeah. And so I'll go ahead and choose that. And once again, from here, you can take advantage of the contrast themes just as we did before as well. So these are the different backgrounds that we can interact with here. If I go back to my personalization menu, I can change some colors here if I want to. So I have this mode. I can choose either a light mode, a dark mode if I want to. And so this is the dark mode. So maybe you prefer to work in the dark mode. This makes a significant difference on your experience here. And if we want to set some transparency effects, we can do that as well. And we have some accent colors. So you can choose automatic accent colors if you want to, which I recommend. It will give you a really nice, contrasting or really good color mixtures here. The same as you would if you were using Microsoft PowerPoint. So we have some Windows colors here that we can use, custom colors. We can decide whether or not we want to show the accent color on the start and the taskbar. So notice how my taskbar changed now to that accent color. And what about title bars and window borders? We can show that there as well. So it's really up to you. You can go ahead and really customize this experience. So I'll go ahead and put these back here. And let's see, I'll go back to my light mode. There's also a custom mode that you can choose if you want to. But I'll go ahead and put this back to light. Put things kind of back to normal here. There we go. Right. So all these options are available to you. If I go back to personalization, and we've taken a look at most of these here. So what about our lock screen? Okay. So we have our other options here that we can use for our lock screen. This is kind of a preview of what our lock screen would look like right now. So we have the Windows Spotlight. We can use a picture if we want to. We can use a slideshow. Okay, but by default, it's on Windows Spotlight here. And we can choose how apps are, sharing data on our lock screen. We can go ahead and toggle some of these here. We can set up the screen timeout just as we would on our mobile device here. We can go ahead and specify this here as well. We can toggle various power modes from best power efficiency to best performance, or either balanced. It's on balanced by default here. And we have a battery saver that turns on at 20%. So again, very mobile friendly. A lot of these features we will see on our mobile devices as well. I'll go back to my personalization here, and we're just taking a look at the different options available under this menu. We can install fonts if we want to. And once again, we've already taken a look at the start menu and the taskbar settings as well. We have device usage down here. So you can select all the ways you plan to use your device to get personalized tips, ads, and recommendations. Right? So these options are available for you as well. And we always have these little help menus here that gives us more information about these menus that we're interacting with. Right? So go ahead at this point, go ahead and personalize your Windows 11 experience. Select a theme. Maybe you want a background color. Maybe you want a solid color or picture or slideshow. Go ahead and play around with these options here. Spend some time, pause the video, and really customize Windows 11 and make it yours. And come right back. Hello. Well, hopefully you took some time to really customize the look and feel of Windows 11. We all have these kind of favorite themes that we like, and we have our favorite colors. But really, it's all about what works for you. So hopefully you were able to find a combination of themes and colors and effects that work for you as well. Let's go ahead and talk about the built-in browser for Windows 11, which is Microsoft Edge. So I just opened my Microsoft Edge here. And the first time you open Microsoft Edge, it asks you a few questions. I ask you to sign in so that you can kind of sync your favorites and sync your passwords and your history and your web settings across your different devices. And it's really helpful if you log into another machine, you can have all of your bookmarks show up, which is becoming very, very common for modern day browsers. But one of the things I really like about Microsoft Edge is that it has come a long way from the days of Internet Explorer, and it has gotten much better here. And I like that you can customize it. Now, I just bypassed the actual setup, but if you want to go ahead and sign in and sync your data, right here on the top right, we have an avatar. And if you just click on that avatar, from here, you can go ahead and sign in. And just like it says here, you can back up your browsing data, your favorites, your passwords, your history on different devices, even on your phone as well. So you can manage your profile here if you want to. But as soon as you sign in and you accept sync data, you'll see all of your bookmarks show up right here. All your passwords will be saved. You can browse as a guest if you don't want to browse with your current Microsoft account. And they reintroduced kids mode, which is a really, really nice feature. And you can add more than one profile here if you want to as well. So one of the first things I like to do is I like to come in here and just customize it. So I'll click on this gear icon, and it gives you a nice, basic menu here for your page layout. So it can be focused. So right now it's focused. I'm not showing any ads, right, or any news. I just have my weather here, my search bar, and some of my quick applications here. So here I have my menu. If I want to access my Microsoft apps, such as Outlook or Office Online, I can interact with that menu. So here's my search bar that I can go ahead and use. And here's some kind of apps that are just kind of came with Microsoft Edge. So if you want to use these, you can. If you want to remove them, you can just go ahead and remove them just by clicking on the menu and just removing. So maybe you don't want these. You can also rename them if you want to. I'll just go ahead and remove some of these. So this mode is focus mode. So this is the view that I get. So if I do scroll down, right, I do get some news down there. So I have your feed, which you can customize in different topics here, from sports to money as well. So it's up to you. You can choose any of these page layouts. You can customize a layout if you want to. We can turn the background off. We can have the image of the day. Just kind of populate back here. You can create your own image. You can customize the theme. And again, here we're on Windows 11. We're talking about customization. You can customize so many things here to make sure that you have the experience that you want. So my quick links, it's referring to my quick links down here. I currently have one row, and that's fine for me. But if you want more, you can have 2 rows to give you more space down there. Okay. And for my content, I can show headings only. I can turn the content off if I want to. So now, if I scroll down, there's nothing down here, no news or anything of that nature. So it's really up to you. Choose your page layout, choose a custom layout. Okay. If I click on advanced, I can go ahead and change my language settings here if I want to. Maybe you speak another language. Another language is your preference. You can go ahead and do that as well. So go ahead and open up Microsoft Edge. You can go through the setup, just sign in as it kind of guides you through there. And once you sign in, go ahead and click on this gear icon and choose your layout. You can turn things on, you can turn things off. It's your experience, so make sure you configure it the way that you like it. And come right back. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and take a look at our settings, and let's take a look at Windows security to see what's happening in the background. I'll go ahead and click on my start menu here, and in the search box, I'll go ahead and type Windows security. And the best match is right here, Windows Security app. That's what I want. I'll go ahead and click on there. And Windows has its own built-in security system here. And we have many different layers of security. So over the years, we've relied on, external services or antivirus clients to kind of safeguard our data or our information. But Windows, for some time actually, has had this Windows security system in place. And as you can see, we have several layers here. So we're getting virus and threat protection right here. So that's one layer. Another layer that we're getting is we're getting account protection. So if we logged in with our Microsoft account, it's protecting our account. And it has some really pretty robust tools such as authentication, two-factor authentication options as well. We have this virtual firewall that's protecting, right? So we have firewall and network protection here. We also have this app and browser control. So while we're surfing the web, right, or whether we're connecting to the web through applications, we're getting this security feature as well. We also have device security. So we have these different layers here, and it's really taking care of these for us. And if we want to, we can always kind of do a checkup here for the device performance and health. Right now it says no actions are needed, so that's pretty good. But I am seeing some kind of alerts here for the virus and threat protection, the account protection, and the app and browser control. So specifically, I'm not currently logged in with my Outlook account, but if I want to take advantage of greater virus and threat protection, if I set up my OneDrive, then I can have some file recovery options in case of a ransomware attack. Okay. And if I sign in with my Microsoft account, I do get enhanced security and other benefits as well. One of the benefits that you get is being able to take advantage of using Windows Hello. So Windows Hello will give you some other options to sign into your device, such as using a fingerprint or a special PIN, or even using your picture to sign in. So I'll go ahead and click on this app and browser control here. And basically what's happening is these will protect my device from malicious websites. So there is a list of malicious websites out there. The list keeps growing every day. Microsoft is aware of them, and they will basically deter you from getting to those websites, or it will evaluate a current site for you and kind of let you know that this is a malicious website as well. One of the really cool tools is that we have this option here of isolated browsing. And so Microsoft Defender basically will open Microsoft Edge in an isolated browsing environment, so it can protect our device and data from malware. In the old days, we saw a lot of malware attacks because the browser was kind of integrated into the operating system. And so it would provide a path for a lot of malware injection directly from the browser. So now we kind of have this sandbox type of activity going on here, which we can really appreciate if you're really conscious about your security. So I'll go back here. And then once again, this is pretty self-explanatory here, but I'll go ahead and click on here because I do want to kind of check some things here, get some information on my current threats. There are no current threats. That's good. I had a scan that was done today. No threats were found. Very good. And let's see, if I scroll down, I can see that my virus and threat protection is up to date using the security intelligence. So I'm good to go. So if I want to, I can go ahead and set up my OneDrive so I can restore my data in case of a ransomware attack. So ransomware attack, basically, I have all of your files. If you want them back, you need to pay a certain amount of money. So we don't want that to happen here. So we have the firewall here. And so we also have our device that's being secured as well. So if we click here, so we have some core isolation that's going on. So we have some virtual, some more sandbox options here to kind of protect the core parts of our device. So very robust security tools that are taking place. We also have the trusted platform module that's in place to help us as well. And we also have secure boot, which is turned on by default. And so that will prevent a lot of rootkit viruses. Back in 2011, there were a lot of rootkit viruses that were attacking. They were very difficult to fix because they were taking place at boot. And so you would need some powerful tools to be able to run that. So Microsoft has become privy to that. They're giving us some secure boot options here as well. So you can appreciate all these different sandbox types of settings here that will help protect our personal information. Finally, if we wanted to, we can just click on the device performance and health here. And if there were any alerts, we would have them here. But we're all good to go, right? So at this point, what you can do, go ahead and open up the Windows Security Center. Go ahead and make sure you set up your OneDrive. Make sure you sign in for account protection. And if you want to, go ahead and turn on the app and the browser control and come right back. Let's talk about a few quick tips and some tricks that we can use in Windows 11. Now, a lot of us have seen this situation before. We have a few windows open here. We're trying to kind of move them around so that they can, right? So that we can kind of see everything in one view here. Well, we had the snap feature that was available in Windows 10, which will allow us to show two different windows side by side. But we've noticed something new here. If we just go ahead and interact with the resize icons on our window here, we'll notice that we have some more options. If I just mouse over, I have some alignments here that I can use. And these are really, really cool. So these are called snap layouts. So I can lay out 2 items if I want to. I can lay out 4 in this type of grid here. And so for my current windows, my current security window, maybe I want to put that to the top right. So I'll go ahead and click here. That will snap it to that top right for me. And so now I have these other options here. And I can go ahead and add my other windows here as well. So maybe I want to go ahead and snap that. I'll snap that. And I'll go ahead and snap that. So now I'm able to just kind of snap all of these together, which makes it a lot easier for me to go ahead and manage that. Now, obviously, snapping 4, I've never really been a fan of snapping 4, but if you have a very, large monitor, this is perfectly fine for you. I do have 2 monitors, so I'm more of a fan of snapping 2 together. So let's go ahead and reveal my desktop here. Put my desktop back. Okay, there we go. So now if I want to kind of break up this band here, I just want to. So maybe I just want to see my account protection and maybe Microsoft Edge, just like that. And so it just gives me this really nice space that I can work with. And that's the snap layout feature for Windows 11. They've taken the snap feature to a whole nother level. You have various layouts that you can use, and they're all really pretty nice, I have to say. In addition to taking advantage of these snap layouts, another thing that you can do is, we're all concerned about the speed of our computer. As we tend to use our computer longer, it tends to slow down, but a lot of that can be prevented by us. And so one of the things I like to do is I like to just keep track of my startup items. So I'll go ahead and click on my start menu, and in the search bar, I'll just type startup. And I'll look for my startup apps here. And so basically every time I turn on my computer, if I take a look at these applications, all of these applications, they're all trying to start here. So let me see if I can sort these by status. Okay. So right now, all of these items are starting up when my computer starts up. So they're just kind of running, okay? Maybe I said some of these should run when I start up, like my sysinternals here. But some of these are just on by default, and they can slow down your computer. So what I like to do is come in here, and I'll just turn things off. Maybe I don't want Cortana. Maybe I don't want this, all of these things to run here. And so I'll go ahead and just turn all these off. Just be mindful. You want to keep on the Windows security or anything that looks like a driver. You want to keep those on. But it's really up to you. Because if we check the startup impact here, we'll see these have different impacts. So Microsoft OneDrive has a high impact on it here. Now, every time you install a program, if you just kind of accept the defaults, those programs, most of the times, they will want to start up when you turn on your computer. And if you don't have a solid state drive, or maybe you don't have the best hardware, it will severely impact how long it takes for your computer, one, to start up, and how long it takes for it to boot as well. So I like to go ahead and turn these off and only keep on what is necessary. Another option, I'll go ahead and close these out here. So another option that I like, sometimes if you could be running out of space here, I'll click on my File Explorer here, and I'll go ahead and just go to my PC, and I'll check, and I'll see currently I have 25 gigs free. Okay. So what I can do, sometimes I can say, well, why am I using so much space? I don't really have that much data on my computer. And so I'll go ahead and click on my Start menu, and I'll run the cleanup utility. So I'll type cleanup, and I have this disk cleanup application here. So I'll go ahead and click on that. And if you haven't run it before, it kind of analyzes your disk here, but then it shows you all of these different, kind of like our mobile devices. It shows us, what areas of our device is taking up space. So right now I'm doing pretty good because I only have 37 megs that I can actually clean up. But the whole idea is in here, you'll just kind of scroll down and check and look for any big ticket items here. Okay. And if you want to clean up system files, a lot of times what happens is with Windows updates, especially after you upgrade to Windows 11, they'll have a lot of files that are kind of left over from the updates. And they can be very large, 20 gigs, 30 gigs. So I'll click on Clean Up System Files here. And it's basically running another calculation here. And now, because I was able to run that, now I have this option here. I can clean up my Windows Update files. So as you can see, it's 158 megs. I did clean this up earlier, so it's not very big now. But here's where you would come and you would actually just look to see if Windows Update is holding on to a lot of information there. You can go ahead and clean that up. And so that's what I like to do. I'll hit cancel now. I already cleaned it up. I cleaned up about 24 gigs a little earlier here. So that's another option that I like to use. Another option that I like is just kind of keeping my browsing separate, right? So I like to separate it. So if I'm just browsing, logging into my bank account, my personal accounts, I'll go ahead and use Microsoft Edge for that. But if I'm surfing the web, just kind of searching for information, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and search in another mode, which is in private. So I'll go ahead and click on my in private window here. And this is why I like to use it, because this is what it does. It's going to delete my browsing info when I close my window. And it prevents Microsoft Bing searches from being associated with me as well. And I can always turn on this tracking prevention here as well. Okay. So I like to do this because, as we're surfing the web, there's cookies, there's a small database file that's being built on your computer. And so you just want to kind of be mindful. I don't like to mix different types of, research with my personal life. And so whenever I just need to search for something, I'm going shopping or whatever, I use the in private mode. So after I close it, that information is not stored in my computer and interfering with my other personal information. Now, I know some of us like to access some of the older menus. So if I open my File Explorer here, and if I right click, if I just scroll down here, right click on my PC. So notice there's a lot of options now that are not available. That old option to manage is no longer here. So from here, I can do a few things, but if I click on show more options, so now I get that older menu, right? So now I can manage. I can map or network drive if I want to. And I like to use the manage because if I open my management console, right? So from here, I can take a look at my device manager if I want to and make some changes here. So this goes back, this looks like Windows XP, right? But it's still there running in the background. And I find it a lot easier to just kind of create user accounts in here. So if I go to users, I can go ahead and just quickly create a new user here. Or I can add someone to the admin group. So to get to the computer management console, you can just go ahead, just right click on your PC, but just show more options and you can get the management console up. Welcome back. Well, let's take a look and see what Windows 11 has done to make the process of updating Windows more efficient here. I'll go ahead and click on my Start menu this time. And I'll go ahead and click on Settings right here. Open my settings. And so I get my system menu here. What I want to do is all the way here on the bottom, I want to go ahead and click on Windows Update. So clicking on Windows Update, the interface is a lot better. It's more visually appealing. We get this nice big notification here that we're up to date. I do have a update that's for Windows 11 that's kind of pending, so I can go ahead and download and install that if I want to. I can go ahead and check for updates right now if I want to as well. Some other things that we can do, we can pause updates. Okay. We can go ahead and pause them for a certain amount of time. We can take a look at our update history. And we have some other advanced options that we can take a look at. Okay. So let's just kind of take a look at the options here for pausing updates. So we can pause them for 2, 3, 4, or even 5 weeks. So maybe you're really digging away at a project. You don't want any interruptions. You can just pause it. It will turn off in the background for you. You can view your update history. But one of the things I really like, and a lot of times we don't really pay attention to this menu, but we do have some advanced options here. And specifically, we'll take a look at some of these advanced options, but the delivery optimization is very, very important. So here we have some things that we can turn on or off. So we can receive updates for other Microsoft products. If we want to, we can do that. I'll leave that on because I do want those to happen. We can say, get me up to date. Now this feature will restart as soon as possible and notify you 15 minutes before restarting. So in the old days, we're trying to get up to date. Now we have this option here. If you're using a metered connection, you can turn this on and it will just be more economically friendly for you. We can receive notifications when a restart is required to finish updating. Very, very good. And then we can go ahead and specify, what I like to do is specify the actual active hours. Okay. So during my work hours, please do not restart my computer without me. I don't want to be in the middle of a meeting and my computer restarts. So you can specify this here as well. This is my secondary account, so I don't currently have it set up here. This is automatic, but you can go ahead and adjust it manually. So another thing that we can do, so let's talk about delivery optimization. Here we can set bandwidth limits for updates and we can download from other devices. So I'll go ahead and open this up here. And so delivery optimization, what is that all about? It downloads updates from Windows, Microsoft Store, and other Microsoft products quickly and reliably. And this option right here to allow downloads from other PCs. Okay, so these are other PCs that are on your local network. So your PC may send parts of previously downloaded Windows updates and apps to devices on your local network or on the internet. So this is an option here. So basically, if there's a computer on your network that has downloaded all those updates, your computer can get some of the information from that computer as opposed to all of the computers on your network reaching out to Microsoft servers and downloading and using a lot of bandwidth. So this is a pretty nice option here as well. So we have the options here. We can allow downloads from devices on the local network. And there's another option here where you can devices on the internet and your local network. So this is the safest option. And they're both currently checked off here. And so that's a really nice feature that can help if you're working with a really, really big organization here. And we have some bandwidth here. So you can kind of set how much bandwidth your updates will use. We know historically it's consumed a very large percentage of the bandwidth. So here you can specify what percent you want it to use here as well. So the point is, you can go ahead and manage all of this, and you're in control of Windows updates. You tell it when, how, and you're in control. So go ahead and open up the settings, click on your start menu, click on settings, head over to Windows updates, and take a look at some of these options and turn some of those on or turn some of those off, and come right back. Welcome back. Well, hopefully you adjusted your Windows update settings so that they will behave properly for you. Let's go ahead and open up the Microsoft Store. So right here on my taskbar, I'll go ahead, if you have not removed it or unpinned it, I'll go ahead and click on here. I can also go back to my start menu and just type Microsoft Store, or I can access it here as well. So once again, if you're logged in, you'll see your custom applications. And one of the things that Windows 11 has kind of guaranteed us is that there's a lot more public apps available. Okay, so not just Microsoft products, we have a lot more public apps that are available here. So the store is growing. So here we have some apps that we can install just by clicking. Some will require you to sign in, but let's take a look at, let's just go through the menu here. So we have various apps that we can install. We have free apps. We have essential apps. Some require a purchase, some are free. We have some suggestions here, some productivity apps that are here. We have some creativity apps. So there are a lot of applications available here. Here's what's trending. Some options here for us. And if I go over to the gaming section, believe it or not, the Microsoft Store has a lot of games that are available here. Halo is a very, very popular game. And things they just integrate with either your Xbox or your Windows 11 computer. And it kind of just installs for you the same way that you would install an app on your mobile device. So there's a lot of options here available as well. So no need to surf the web and play browser games. There's a lot of options here in the Microsoft Store. Let's go over to movies and TV. So we have various movies and TV here. We have new movies section. We have streaming apps that we can use. So just like any other app store that you would use for your other devices, you have the options here as well. They're all very robust and they offer you a lot of different filters that you can search through. So I'll head down to the library here. And the library is a combination of what is currently on your computer and maybe synced on your other devices as well. So notice I'm not logged in, but it's showing me these are all of the apps that came with Windows 11. So here's my movies and TV app, music. If I just scroll down, these are all here. So notice I can open them right from here because they are installed. I did not install these. They came with Windows 11. Power Automate is becoming very, very popular, very powerful tool, help you to automate tasks. Paint 3D. We have some mixed reality portals here. So if you've never taken a look at these, they're all here. They're also in your start menu, but here you can just get a nice visual look of all of them. And of course, there's Cortana that you can speak to, gives you feedback, learns your voice, learns your preferences, and provides information for you as well. So at this point, I can either sort by date, by name, by whether it's installed or not. And from here, I can go ahead and click on Get Updates for all of these applications. And it will go ahead and update all of them for me. So I'll go ahead and click on Get Updates. And let's see what happens. I want to make sure everything is updated on my Windows 11 machine here. And it's running. I assume it has to do a lot of syncing. And let's scroll down and see if anything is updating yet. Yep, there we go. So I have my Intel Graphics Command Center. So that's updating. Okay, very good. So while that's running, go ahead, click on the Microsoft Store, look around, see if there's anything that interests you, sign in for more options, and install a few apps. Come right back. Well, that was fun taking a look at Windows 11, taking a look at some of those really nice features, enjoying that new refreshed interface. We spent a lot of time just customizing Windows 11, making it more friendly for us as the user. We talked about various security settings, some of the new features, and one of the features that we talked about was just linking your Android, what Microsoft calls this Windows subsystem for Android. And basically what it allows you to do is to run Android applications right inside of Windows 11. Now keep in mind, you will need to install the Amazon App Store from the Microsoft Store, and then you will be able to run applications there as well. So what I'd recommend you do, click on your Start menu and launch that Get Started dialog, and go ahead and log in, and go ahead and just kind of enable some of the features there, especially the option to link your Android. Take advantage of the delivery optimization that the Windows Update provides, and you will be on your way to really having a great experience with Windows 11. I want to thank you for all of your time. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you in a future tutorial.